And in front of me this morning, because it started a few months ago when I got this phone call, and it was, Mel, I'd really like you to consider a nomination to the board. And I said, oh, that's not my cup of tea. You know, I'm a member. You know, y'all are on the board, and y'all do what we as the members want done. And so I'm a soldier. I'm not an officer. And then I got another phone call. And it was, well, Mel, what if you could sit on the board and not do anything? And I said, you mean I can just say whatever the heck I want to say and there's no repercussions? Yeah, that's exactly right. Okay, I'll do that. What's my title going to be? Member at large. Well, I'm large, so. So I agreed to that. And as you would not probably be surprised to know, that the ballots hadn't even been shredded yet when I get another phone call. Mel, you're a power voter, talking to me like I'm some alien species. And we'd really like to see what you could contribute to a PMU program. And so that's how I ended up here today. And I'm going to do my best to make sure that this never happens again. So, what I did is, I'm not going to do Sport Fishing 101. We had Herb Gordon here 2 years ago. For those that were here, he did a great job, and I can't really do any better than that. We'll talk at the end a little bit about sport fishing, but what I rather thought I would do is, I'm passionate about the blue crab. The name of my boat is Fin and Tonic. You'll see a picture of the fantail here in a little bit, and the fin is back fin. That's not sport fishing, that's in sail fin. I grew up in my family. My earliest remembrance as a child was an uncle chasing me through the house with a crab. To this day, I probably cook from 20 to 50 bushels of crab a year in my backyard, and we drink lots of beer. Where do you live? Actually, it is an open door policy, I'm not going to get on the phone and call people and invite them, but it's 2 or 3 weekends a month, and you're welcome to come by. Everybody is. So, and you'll see pictures in a few minutes or later on about the effects of that. So what I want to do is move right on to who's here today. And did anybody see this in the paper this week? I could not have set this up any better if I had wanted to. This is a story about the winter dredge survey for our blue crabs. And the data that's collected is probably 90% of what goes into the fishery management of the blue crab. And I'm not going to say much more about it because first I'll screw it up, and I don't want to steal the thunder of the people that are here to talk to us. We have Johnny Graham here today. I hope everybody, if you're not live, you're familiar with Graham and Rollins Seafood over here in Hampton. And that's Johnny's family. Johnny and I don't know one another other than the fact that I'm a customer and I come in there and every now and then I see him, and just like I'm mouthy now, I get mouthy with him. And Johnny has developed a very successful brand at Graham and Rollins. You'll find him on QVC. He'll correct me if I get this wrong, but I believe that his frozen food sales are the top of the pile at QVC. I don't think anyone else sells him. When you go to area festivals, he sets up a food service. He has sold chowders, he's sold cakes, he's sold pies, and the lines are the deepest at his booths. If you haven't eaten at his restaurant, which is right next door to the market, you cannot find fresher seafood that's well prepared. I'm not trying to sell this and blow smoke up his skirts. I'm just telling you it's a fact. The staff in the seafood market are courteous, kind, and they know their business. I went in there one day when there was a young teenager, probably his first weekend from my experience. I think I watched him pick his first crab up in his life, and it clipped him and he dropped it on the floor. Well, he went to put it in the bag that was going to get sent to the kitchen, and he was quickly corrected. Even though it's a crab, we don't sell seafood that way. And it went in the trash. So I just happened to be there when that happened. So anyway, Johnny's got a perspective about the fishery management that is totally different than you will ever see covered in the papers. It's often he is contrary to the regulatory policies and directions that those policies take the watermen. But his argument is well-founded. I'm going to have to read some of these facts because, again, I'll screw it up. At one time, there were 13 packing houses on the Hampton River. Today, there's one. It's Johnny Graham. I believe back, I don't know how far back this goes, at one time you employed 800 people, and today, or last year, he had less than 24 W-2 workers. He fights federal management. He fights illicit importation of what is labeled to be blue crab, and you'll find out that what is labeled to be blue crab is not blue crab. He is a pioneer in the latest state legislation addressing the labeling of blue crab. And I'm not telling him what to talk about today. I asked him to talk about what is the thing that most challenges him in the business environment. He may not want to talk about that. So I'm going to turn it over to Johnny, and you can start swearing at me as soon as you get out the door.